Good morning and welcome back to the channel. And this morning in Celtic FC News, we talk about Graham Souness has been pumping his gums. The fear is ripping out Graham Souness. We talk about Brendan Rodgers, and we also talk about some transfer speculation, and we'll talk about a player that has been linked with Celtic, and we'll discuss exactly who we think he might replace at Celtic. That's all in this morning's Celtic News. So let's dive straight into the video. And Graham Souness has been on a media platform saying that he's got fears for Rangers, as he admits that Brendan Rodgers' return isn't good news for them. He believes that Celtic have made big promises, and when you see the transfer budget that Celtic have been given, allegedly, he probably has every right to be scared. He said they've made serious promises from Desmond over money he can spend this summer. The former Leicester boss who's taken over Celtic this week, he says, Rodgers signed a 3-year deal, and I believe that Celtic have promised to back him and attempt to make a mark in Europe. The hopes are guaranteed Champions League group stage. It's been suggested that the Northern Irishman Rodgers was unhappy. Well, we all know that. He was unhappy with things that were left the last time. But the fact that Souness, he says he's worried that the money that they have compared to Rangers will blow Rangers out of the water and make it more difficult for Michael Beale. Tell me what you think about that. It's actually hilarious. And Charlie Nicholas has been pumping his gums again. Charlie, do you never learn? He's got issues with the Celtic Supremo, Desmond. He says that he basically says that since Postecoglou left, he says no man is bigger than the club, and has he made Brendan Rodgers bigger than the club? We've been through this, you know. As far as I'm concerned, we back the manager, we move on. Let's get on to the Celtic transfer news. There was a lot of speculation over the last couple of days about Daniel Amartey, who is a Leicester player. Now, the last time that we had a manager that came from Leicester and he brought some players with him, they've done not too bad, let's just say, and the likes of Neil Lennon and things like that. So that was Martin O'Neill back in the day. When Martin O'Neill came from Leicester, he did okay. So maybe this time around we can get a Leicester boss that can probably do just as good as maybe Martin O'Neill did, or maybe the guy can do just as good as he did the first time, winning 7 trophies in 2 and a bit years. Anyway, Celtic boss Brendan Rodgers is supposedly eyeing up the Leicester City defender Daniel Amartey. Now, he does play at the right back position. Let's look at the players that we have in right back at the moment, and you can see that the squad wise, we have quite a few players. Obviously, Adam Montgomery, we spoke about yesterday. Adam Montgomery, it looks like that he might be going down to join our former captain and leader Scott Brown on loan. He is contracted until 2025. We then have Soro, but it looks like, Soro, the fact that he's still on the books, he does have 1 year left on his contract, but I think Celtic might come to a deal with him and let Soro go, or they might try and sell him on the cheap this summer. You then have Tony Ralston. Tony Ralston is still contracted to Celtic until 2025. He didn't have the best of seasons last season. He was injured at times, and he didn't really get going last season. Didn't reach the highs that he reached the season before. Is he better than Tony Ralston? Tell me that in the comments. And then, obviously, a person that he will not, in my opinion, he will not take him out of the team, is Alistair Johnston. Alistair Johnston is contracted until 2027. I don't think that Celtic will sell him this summer. It'd be absolutely mad to sell him because he will fly in the Champions League. I think it's not that. But the guy can play in midfield also. And the fact that Rodgers knows him, Rodgers likes to bring in a player that he has known for a long time and can do a job for him. But I think we will see Rodgers spending big money. So tell me what you think about it in the comments. Do you think that Amartey would do a good thing for Celtic? Do you think the 28-year-old would replace Alistair Johnston? Is that controversial? It is 6'1". We do need a bit of height. People have said that. We do need a bit of height in the team. And I think that's one thing that Rodgers did bring to Celtic teams. He did have a little bit of height. He has been capped 51 times for his country. But there are clubs in Saudi Arabia and Turkey seemingly interested in the player also. But the fact that Brendan Rodgers is coming calling for him would suggest that he'll probably go with Brendan because he's been his manager and they had a good time under him. So tell me what you're thinking in the comments. What about that Scotland game last night and that rain back in Scotland? Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're not allowed to talk about Scotland on this channel because some people get upset. In other Celtic news, there's not a lot going around this morning. We do expect transfer activity to start speeding up. We expect transfer rumours to start speeding up also as the team get ready to enjoy the rest of their break and then come back nice and focused to meet the manager. And they're obviously meeting the manager just before they go back into training so that they can talk about the way forward. It's a great day when Graham Souness is absolutely... The fear is ripping at him because he's scared that Celtic might spend just a little bit too much money. And that makes him another lucky manager, just like the last one, who was a lucky man. I think we need to start the hashtag lucky man. We won't. Anyway, on that note, hope you enjoyed this video. I shall see you. If there's any other breaking news, I shall do a video this afternoon. If not, I shall see you tomorrow morning with the breaking Celtic news. And the breaking Celtic news is this morning is that Brendan Rodgers is ready to dip his toes into the transfer market. Graham Souness is absolutely livid at the money that Celtic have. And Charlie Nicholas, well, he is just Charlie Nicholas.